Episode 1. The episode begins with the escape of a dangerous convict named Damian Tillman from a maximum security prison. He does this by sneaking beneath a pickup truck using license plates he had collected over the past month. The U.S. Marshals, led by Ray Zancanelli and Charlie Duchamp, begin a manhunt to find Damian and bring him back into custody. To aid in the search, Zancanelli and Duchamp decide to form a special task force consisting of convicts who have a talent for breaking out of prison. The team includes Lloyd Lowery, a former child prodigy, Shea Daniels, a skillful thief, Philly, a beautiful but cunning con artist, and Gunderson, the Muscles. Together, the team uses their unique skills to track down Damian and bring him back into custody before he can cause any more harm. Throughout the episode, viewers see the team working together to gather clues and track down leads, while also dealing with their own struggles to escape. In the end, they can successfully capture Damian and return him to prison, but not before facing many challenges and obstacles along the way. Episode 2. In the second episode, Collected, the team is ordered to track down Price Xavier, a happy family man with jail time for accidentally killing a robber. According to his wife and his record, Price is completely clean, but something about him doesn't sit right with Lloyd. Later in the episode, we can see Xavier acting suspiciously and going around from town to town. As time goes by, we can see Lloyd's suspicions coming true. He had suspected that Price had a hobby of collecting women due to his past trauma. It is proven true when they find women trapped in certain properties owned by Xavier. A new character, Erica Reed, is introduced, replacing Philly. Because of her, they were able to catch Price at the right time, and all the women were brought to safety. The episode ends with Duchamp and Ray deciding on whether Erica should stay on the team or not. Ray tests her, which she passes, and they decide to let her stay. Episode 3. In another prison, a man named Theodore Bagwell escapes while being transported for medical examination. He escapes while being transported. According to reports, Bagwell was imprisoned for killing teenagers. Shea, being familiar with such a pattern, informs the team about it, to which they all ignore him. Still on the run, Theodore kills 8 people, including his ex-wife and her husband. The team finally circles him to a hospital where his mother, Mrs. Bagwell, was admitted. They are informed about this by the owner of a nursing home where Mrs. Bagwell was previously staying. They succeeded in cornering him and capturing him after he bids his mother farewell. Later in the episode, Lloyd can be seen interviewing him, one-on-one, and declares that there was no fixing this man. Episode 4. In this episode, Joseph Ramsey, an accused sex offender, is seen escaping prison by stealing a TV crew's jacket. He is really skillful with how he escapes. Later, Erica is seen being mad about the team calling her in during visitation hours. With a foul mood, she tries to carry on with the investigation. Joseph is seen to have a dangerous aura that alarms kids around him. The team investigates Joseph's case. They make an en route to a playground where Joseph is seen with an 8-year-old. The girl seems to be petrified and is taken into police custody. Meanwhile, Erica chases after Joseph, losing him in the process. The police tried questioning Tess to see if he had made any advances towards her. She doesn't give an answer about the way Tess's father reacts to throwing Lloyd off. They interviewed Joseph's ex-wife. Later on, Joseph visits his lawyers and presumably attacks him, to which the police, along with the team, arrive at the scene. A pattern is set, which helps the police track down Joseph. They nearly catch him, but Charlie loses him at the subway. Injured Lloyd is ordered to stay with Julianne. While with her, he figures that Joseph was not the perpetrator, but the victim. Lloyd and Julianne visit Tess one more time to ask her about what was causing her distress. Without getting answers, he still proceeds to convince Charlie of Joseph's innocence, but he is still arrested. In the office, Tess visits with her mom, and it is known that indeed, Joseph was a victim, and the real predator was Tess's father. The episode ends with Charlie bringing Erica to her daughter. Episode 5. This episode is called Queen of Hearts. The scene opens up with an inmate being released to move to meet the prison guard. She tricks him and threatens him with his son's picture. Getting clothed, she manages to escape through a prison van. In the next scene, Lloyd loses a game of poker and is in debt of $800 US. They go to work and find out that the escaped inmate, Lyla Thompson, had stabbed her second husband. Her first husband was killed in a house fire. The only family she is left with is her 14-year-old son, Taylor, who is under federal care, so Lyla does not harm him. The team is visited by the prison guard where he gets Lyla's stuff. Charlie and Ray question him about their relationship and how Lyla had gotten an outfit. The guard refuses their suspicion. He tells them that the phone was given by someone else. He informs them of how Lyla was planning to go on a cruise, and they order her mugshot to be broadcasted throughout the nation. One of her victims, the owner of a go-karting club, gets his bank account emptied. Julianne tracks the transactions. Lyla gets alerted when she sees her mugshot at a store. The team visits Lyla's son, Taylor. He assures to contact them as soon as his mom contacts him. Not convinced, Lloyd requested to see the kid alone, and he tells him about not trusting him, but gives him his phone number. Lyla is seen with another guy, whom she shoots after a little quarrel. Her pen pals are called and interviewed separately. They fail until Erica gets Lyla's number from one of her pen pals. Receiving Lyla's phone records, they find out she is in contact with Taylor, and he goes missing. In New Jersey, she is seen at her ex's house, who refuses to keep her with him. She shoots him and moves to a trailer. Taylor calls Lloyd, informing him about his mom's odd behavior. The police surround the trailer, and Lyla is taken down. Episode 6. At the start of this episode, inmate Christian can be seen making something with a light bulb. In the next scene, he is seen with his lawyer. Asking for a break, he breaks out of prison by using the light bulb bomb. Being a Hertz sympathizer, he thinks that the government is corrupt. The psychiatrist informs them about his condition. Christian had both severe rage disorder and acute persecution complex. Lloyd does not agree with his methods and disagrees by giving such a convict uprising book. The team is informed about it, and they get to know that Christian blamed the government for his mother passing away, and his father agreed with it. Rye and the crew reach Christian's dad's house, and they find burnt patches of grass, concluding that Christian was present. Due to his knowledge of the law, the Christian father kicks them out. Meanwhile, Christian blows a postal office. On their arrival, the team finds out fertilizer is being used. Next, Julianne informs them about a fertilizer company, and upon reaching, the owner doesn't cooperate. They find 40 missing fertilizers. Annoyed at Deschamps, Christian sends a bomb to his wife. Alerted, they speed up the process to look for him. At a protest, they find the government official that had been helping Christian. They are close to catching him, but he runs away from his hideout. Lloyd figures out Christian's position and they rush with the bomb squad. Christian is found, and the bomb is defused. Episode 7. On Visitation Day, Marlon O'Connell is visited by his mother, who he later kills to escape. He takes another person hostage named Starla Rowland, whom the police suspect to be helping Mars. Rise and Deschamps visit Starla's mother, who clarifies their suspicion of Mars and Starla working together. On the other hand, Starla and Mars open fire in a restaurant. To lay low, Starla and Mars move to the Highland where another man is found dead, with his car keys stolen. Later, they shot a sheriff on duty, taking his gun with them. Mars's inmate is questioned and he tells them about his advice. The runners are seen in a house where they have tied up the family. The team finds the car and figures that they might be hiding in the high-end residential area. They catch Starla by tracking transactions, but she turns the situation around and she captures Lloyd and Rice. Meanwhile, Shea, along with Deschamps and Erica, find the location and they are rescued. Episode 8. A 50-pound-plus male is poisoned to death. The body of the man, however, is replaced by 2 convicts, Day and McCann. It is found that they had been communicating through a book. Race tries to interview Day's sister, but she does not cooperate. Day kills a man on the other hand, while McCann draws money. Julian informs the others. Later, the team checks the scene out and finds the dead guy. Day and McCann can later be seen in a motel, after which they break into a guy's house. The 85-year-old is found dead and his car is missing. Meanwhile, the car runs out of gas. Charlie and the team search the area around the car. Being really close to catching them at a pharmacy, unfortunately, they lose them. They seem to reach a house where, according to Day, had $100,000 in his house. The house turns out to be an ex-convict who was Day's ex-inmate. He seems to have abused Day both sexually and physically. He wanted to take revenge for his 18-year-old self. The episode ends with Days being captured as he realized what he had done. Episode 9. Prisoner Brennan Andre escapes with the help of a duplicate key and his mates inside the prison. The prison guard had provided Brennan with a duplicate in exchange for some cash. Later, Rice and Deschamps visit Brennan's ex-partner, where she assures them that she had not been in contact with him, but later is proven wrong when the second time they don't find her. In this entire episode, it is seen how the police, along with the team, was doing exactly what Brennan had planned for them to see. This spell is, however, broken when Brennan's true love is offered tissues by Reese, which turns out to be a tracking device. Brennan is arrested after a full-day chase. Episode 10. Virgil Downing, a notorious killer, skillfully escapes prison and is seen to be going around killing specific teenagers. Reese and Deschamps do a background check, and it is found that most of the murdered people are found to be connected to the rape case of Genevieve. Reese and Deschamps interview her father, who seems to be knowing nothing about the killer, but seemed unbothered by the murder of the students. As the episode progresses, Reese and the team predict the last suspect by asking Genevieve about it. She had confessed earlier about wishing all the people that were there to be killed, and her father might have taken a liking to the idea. Before the murder of the last suspect, Reese and Deschamps are fast on their feet and Virgil is captured. Episode 11. A schizophrenic psycho named Bennett Bolster runs away after impaling one of the watchmen during an outing. He had a previous episode of stalking and killing a local newscaster. While interviewing one of the patients, it is found that Bennett was after a hostess, Ms. Myers, who was engaged to be married. Gunderson is allowed to help in this case, and with him, they track down where Bennett was taking her. Lloyd narrowed the area down. He finds that Bennett was weirdly obsessed with birds, which helped him. Erica helps Ms. Myers escape, but then is caught. Charlie rescues her by shooting Bennett as he was equipped with a weapon. Episode 12. 5 of the most dangerous convicts break out of a highly secured prison. The team is introduced to the new chief director, Richard Wendell. The escaped convicts are Ronald Barnes, Chester Rhodes, Carlos Cepeda, Tran Jun, and Sandy Clement. As the episode progresses, all convicts are found, one by one, in different locations that were tipped off by Richard. Being the mastermind, he had planned the guys for having different roles, and each one of them was told a different plan to tick the police off in different directions. Shea is sent inside the prison to find information about this case, where he finds out that Ronald was going to escape by sea. With all the money that he had stashed up inside one of his properties, he makes his way to his escape route. Reese and Deschamps are already at the scene. Ronald holds Lloyd at gunpoint, but he is shot by Reese and arrested. Episode 13. Carmen Vega, also known as Le Santa, a cunning drug lord, escapes prison while visiting for her son's funeral. The woman seems to be all put together and naive, but is actually very smart and sly. She had ordered her oldest to be killed just so she could escape. Her plan was to get her position back at the top. Due to her influence everywhere, she got Shea to be careful. She had his girlfriend captivated. Later, it is found an insider is part of Vanessa's plans. The officer kills himself in guilt. On edge, the Breaking King convicts worry for their families. By getting a tip, Reese, along with the team, break into Carmen's warehouse where they capture her son. They found a large number of filters. The team captures her and brings back Shea's girlfriend. Deschamps assures the safety of the family of the other convicts, and the season ends.